Senior Voice America, serving our nation's seasoned citizens for over 4 decades.
Are you looking for a job? Join me, Gene Hodge, on the Employment Opportunity Hour, Thursdays from 7 to 8 p.m., where I will tell you and share with you, as well as answer all of your questions and help you find enjoyable employment instead of a job. This is the only talk show that talks about everyone who makes up our workforce. Join me on the Employment Opportunity Hour every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. on the Employment Opportunity Hour.
Join the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection live from Ferg Sports Bar and Grill every Saturday from noon to 2 as we cover Tampa Bay sports, from the Pee-wees to the preps to the pros, providing a positive perspective in our weekly interviews with NFL alumni and Florida Sports Hall of Fame inductees, as well as collegiate, high school, youth coaches, and players. Conversations from the clubhouse, as well as entertaining guests weekly. So be sure to have a championship day with the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection, Saturdays from 12 to 2 on the Tan Talk family of stations.
Joe, why are you always criticizing conservatives?
You know, Ed, I prefer to think of it as guidance. One of life's little anomalies is that people who are behaving badly actually appreciate it when they are criticized and corrected.
Well, if you're ready for just plain, straight talk about the events of the day,
join me, Joe Reinhardt,
and me, Ed Golly, every Thursday morning at 10 o'clock for The Voice of Reason,
here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hey Tampa Bay, Tammy here with the BCC Coupon Book. Tune in during drive time every Thursday, 5 to 6 p.m. on the Tan Talk Radio Network to hear the BCC Coupon Book radio show. We feature local small business owners with great deals for many services and restaurants in our listening area. And anyone interested in branding your business and getting your name out there, give us a call at the BCC Coupon Book, 727-804-6082. Have a great day, Tampa Bay.
Hi, this is Paul Malloy, host of Freedom Works, The Paul Malloy Show. I hope you'll join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, here on the Tan Talk Radio Network, where we strive to bring you the libertarian perspective on political events of the day. There's no show quite like Freedom Works, with in-depth interviews, our ultimate top 10 list, and so much more. So join us for Freedom Works, The Paul Malloy Show, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
From the Sunshine State, this is Tampa Bay's Tan Talk.
Come on, move it nice and easy. Girl, you make me lose my mind. Sherry, Sherry baby, baby, Sherry baby, Sherry, can you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Come out tonight. Come out tonight. Come out tonight. Oh, big girls don't cry. They don't cry. He said, walk like a man, talk like a man, walk like a man, my son. Oh, what a night. Why did it take so long to see the light? It seemed so wrong, but now it seems so right. Sweet surrender, what a night. I love you, baby, and if it's quite all right, I need you, baby, to warm the lonely night. I love you, baby. Trust in me when I say, oh, pretty baby, don't bring me down, I pray. Oh, pretty baby, now that I found you, stay and let me love you, baby. Let me love you.
Let your fantasies unwind at the Phantom of the Opera on Broadway.
3 infielders on the left side for Judge, and here's the 3-1. Drilled deep to left field. There it goes! throws, number 60. Slide over, babe. You've got some company. Aaron James Judge has tied George.
Reach out, oh, red and Steve. Reach out, with Ray and Steve. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the car.
Hello, everybody. And I think this is a welcome to Reach Out. This is the show. And I should say at the beginning, a very pleasant good evening to each one of you, wherever you may be. I just walked in the door in my hotel room, turned on the show, and look, there's all the Reach Out people. It's so good to see you all. And I don't have anything else to say, but welcome. And let's bring on our co-hosts, my buddies, Steve and Ray.
Hey, Robbie.
What's going on, Roberto?
I walked in, I turned on my computer, and there was a screen with me, so I figured I might as well do something.
Hey, there's room service in the back there. They're delivering some food to.
Good. I need a burger. I need a Dodger dog.
Dodger dog. This is Reach Out with Robbie Robinson, Ray Negron, and Steve Vaccaro. Tan Talk Network in Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Tampa Bay. Many, many stations. I want to thank Bobby, Carmine, and Anna behind the scenes there. AM 1340, AM 1350, AM 1400, FM 106.1, and FM 104.3. If you want to join in, please do at 727-441-3000. So Ray's not next to me. He's at Yankee Stadium because this guy, Aaron Judge, has 60 home runs. What do you think, Ray?
Anything is possible with Aaron Judge. We have to get realistic to the fact that we're watching a phenomenon. We're watching Mickey Mantle all over again. We're watching Babe Ruth for one season. I mean, this guy is right now, he's a triple crown threat. He's leading in every category in all of Major League Baseball. I don't even know if anything like this has ever happened before. The only one that could have done something like this is Babe Ruth. And I know he didn't win a triple crown.
Hey, and it's amazing. You know, one of the things against Roger Maris back in 1961 was that he did it in 161 games. Now, what is the game number for the Yankees here now? That
he did it. Our boy Judge did it, number 60 in 145 games.
Wow! See, that's really amazing. This
phenomenal,
is
phenomenal. Because you still got to hit the ball, and a guy's throwing 95 plus miles an hour. So, hey, listen, I love Babe Ruth. I love Roger Maris and the romance of the Yankees of that era. But I got to give credit where credit is due.
Absolutely.
But gentlemen, Roger Maris had a lot of challenges along the way because he was passing the great Babe back then, and Yankee fans didn't take too nicely to that at the time.
And you know, one of the ironic things, it was 61 years ago, was in 1961. And how crazy is that?
It is crazy. But boys, again, I'm not going to cheapen anything. nobody's more romantic to that era than me.
Yeah.
But I've come to the conclusion that, man, we got to give this guy credit for what he is doing. It's not like everybody's doing it. Okay, he's doing it,
and he's so far ahead of the second place guy on the home run list.
Yeah, it's like Babe Ruth. It's like Babe Ruth back in the 1920s. He was that far ahead of the second place guy.
Then think about this, Ray. Think about how good he's going to look in Dodger blue next year at Dodger Stadium.
Wow.
Hey, listen, I'm so upset about the whole structure of salaries, especially the aspect of someone asking for $40 or $50 million when, I was just saying earlier today that if all of professional sports decided to help the world and still make a profit, you could.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really,
it's unreal. I mean, does anybody, hey, it's none of my business, but I mean, is baseball as big or better than the arts? I mean, is what this young man is doing better than what Karen Sheehan did in playing the Phantom of the Opera 1,000 times on Broadway? And they didn't break bank. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm very confused about the whole thing.
Yeah, it is confusing. But by the way, that's not the only historic event that's going on. We've got another guy in the National League who's coming in on 700 home runs. How amazing is that?
That's right. Albert Pujols.
Congratulations to a man who has had a nice, quiet, steady career. That's going to be the most quiet 700 home runs we'll ever have in our history. You know what I'm saying?
Without question.
But, gentlemen, we lost the legend, Maury Wills. And before you talk about it, Robbie, we have a little video I want to show our viewers out there and listeners in Florida.
I'm 81 now, and I'm still out there teaching them. We try to teach the players the fundamentals of the game. That's the strength of a baseball team is in the fundamentals. Being able to run the bases properly, being able to do little things like bunt. There's no category in the newspapers for the leading bunter in the league, the leading base runner in the league. So you don't get the $10 million contract being the best base runner or the best bunter. The only thing base running and bunting and the fundamentals do is win ball games. I thought that's what it's all about. So we stress that. And the players listen, and they call me Uncle Maury. I have a great relationship with them.
They're receptive to instruction?
For me, they are, yes. Because I came up through the minor leagues 8.5 years, and I remember what was important to me when the instructor came up, how he related to me, how he approached me, what he did that didn't go real well with me, make me feel open to him. And so I carry those things with me. We all egomaniacs in this game, so I know how to get around that because I was one of them.
How does it feel when you put on the jersey?
I'm like Tommy Lasorda. He wants to be buried in his. I feel the same way. He doesn't have an exclusive on that feeling.
Wow.
Robbie.
Well, first of all, I'm wearing number 30's jersey.
There you go.
See here. Maury Wills. This is his jersey. Actually, this is a jersey that it was his, and he wore it in game. He wore it as a coach, not back in the 60s, but he is one of my all-time heroes, and he's a legend. I mean, and that he's not in the Hall of Fame is such a crime, but that's another story. But this guy changed the world. He changed baseball. In 1915, that was when Ray was still playing Little League, I think.
But Pony League. I was in a Pony League now.
Okay, 1915, Ty Cobb set the all-time record for 96 stolen bases. And then after that era, when Babe Ruth came in and started hitting home runs, people forgot about stolen bases until 1962, when Maury Wills, who had been he was in the minor leagues for 8 years before he made it to the majors, But in 1962, he changed the game forever, and he led and hit, and he stole 104 bases in 1962. And all of a sudden, wow. And it was so dynamic. It was so electric in those days because he would get on base and everybody in the stadium, everybody on both teams knew that he was going to steal a base. And the big chant in Dodger Stadium was go, 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 go. And it was just a cat and mouse, and it was so exciting. And, he is so missed.
Robbie, we lost Vin Scully, Maury Wills, really, really sad in Dodgerville.
Yeah, it's a sad time. And Vin. And so, you said Vin. And so there is a Vin patch, and they announced in the game last night they're going to have a Maury Wills patch the Dodgers are going to wear this year.
Wow. This show is about sports, entertainment, and community. And what Maury Wills went through back in the day, he went through the whole racism, and he had to deal with that. And his integrity of a man came through over and over again.
Absolutely. Did you ever meet him, Ray?
Yeah, many occasions. Good guy, smart. Just a very smart baseball man. He was actually a next door neighbor to my childhood friend Jimmy Madorma. So I actually got to meet him in Los Angeles at that time. So I feel that I've been lucky in that respect.
And he was a manager for the Mariners, I think.
He was the manager to my friend Dave Valley, who's been on our show on several occasions.
Oh yes,
that's right. And he had a son that played baseball, Bump Wills, for Texas.
I actually played against Bump when I was with the Pirate organization in the minor leagues, actually.
I got to meet him one time by chance, and I had a great chat with him, and he knew Frankie Valli, of course, and all that, because 1962 was his big year, and Frankie Valli first came out with Sherry in 1962, but he gave me his card, and he said, let's go to a Dodger game sometime, and I never took him up on it.
You didn't follow up, Robbie.
I know.
You didn't follow up.
Too much music, too little time,
Yeah. You have to get out of that hotel room every now and then.
I know. Hey, this is weird for me, not in my studio in California. So I guess it's sounding and looking okay, huh?
That's right. But we mentioned community. Yes. Ray, you at CS 55 in the Bronx with Oswaldo Cabrera recently, and we have a little clip. We don't have the clip, but talk about what Oswaldo did for that school.
Oswaldo Cabrera is our young player, and I'm sorry that you don't have a clip because I wanted to show the excitement that he gave to those children, and like Gio before him and guys before that and Mr. Steinbrenner. We went to CS 55 and he was marvelous. He's just, he's a guy who I'm expecting to do wonderful things off the field. I know what he's going to do on the field, but I'm expecting him to do some magic off the field too for the children.
That's right. We're going to look for that clip. But also this morning before you got to Yankee Stadium, you met with some important people.
Talk to me. Remind me.
You met with Harold Reynolds?
Oh, I was. We did a show this morning with Harold Reynolds, and if you have that clip, why don't you show it, Steve?
All right, let's check it out.
So we're here with Chef Marcus and Harold Reynolds. I mean, we're not going to talk about cooking right now. You can watch that on the
Why not?
You can watch it on the Yes app. But right now, we're going to talk about what's happening in the Bronx.
Yes.
Okay. Your opinion about Judge and what he did last night?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Like, it's just for us to be able to watch it. It's just a great year. We're all going to talk about this year like 15 years from now.
I'm going tonight. I mean, just flat out. He's going to hit 61 pretty soon. You got to be there.
I'm going to ask you a controversial question.
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay. He hit 62, okay? Breaks Roger Maris' record.
Yeah.
Now, is that the record or Barry Bonds? Is that the record? Well, I mean, what's the story, Harold?
Look, I saw Barry hit 74, so
I want to know this. I want to know this too.
But I think for the first clean guy in the testing era, this stands up against the test of time. It's one of the greatest things ever. And I think had we not gone what we went through, everybody in the world be tuned in to what Aaron's doing right now. That's the shame of it all.
It also makes your numbers much better because you played in the roughest time when it was like free willing. So your numbers should be up too.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Now, remember something. I used to babysit Barry Bonds when his dad, Bobby, played for the Yankees.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, 1975.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you said something that struck me. I don't know how to take it.
Okay.
You said in the clean era. And Barry was never tested positive.
That's true. No, and Barry never failed a test, anything like that. And I don't know what he did.
You can't get a Harold. You're like you
I'm telling you, I've known. I'll just tell you how great Barry was as a player.
Absolutely.
So you know how the major league teams play against the colleges in spring training the last couple days of spring.
Right.
So I'm with the Mariners, and we're playing at Arizona State.
Right.
And here comes young freshman Barry Bonds.
Right.
We got Mark Langston, Mike Moore getting their tune-ups. They're going to pitch our 1 and 2 pitchers who end up being big-time big leaguers, right? Whack, whack, whack. He got 5 hits off those 2 guys. He's a freshman in college.
So what is he, like 18, 19?
Yeah, he's like 18 years old. And I was like, this guy's going to be incredible. That's how talented Barry was. Barry, we talk about Willie Mays and everybody else. Barry may be the greatest player of all time. You throw Griffey in there, all those guys. Barry may be the greatest. I mean, he stole bases, he hit, he could run, he did it all. He was amazing.
Well, I'm going to close with this. God only knows. In the immortal words of the Beach Boys, God only knows. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you, brother. I love you. Chef, you're the best.
Thank you so much.
And the food is so good after they film us. I'm going to eat.
Exactly. I'm ready to eat.
We'll be.
Hey,
you go, Ray.
Great.
Nobody knows baseball like Harold Reynolds, and next to Robbie Robinson, that is. And
well, it's fascinating that, and he answered your question. First, I thought he was being very political. He was kind of skirming the issue a little bit, but he was pretty forthright with that.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
But there's a lot of controversy with Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire. I mean, we're talking Babe Ruth and Roger Maris right now. So the American League record, Judge looks like he's going to take it.
Yeah.
Well,
and there's the standings there.
They're in the first inning here in New York, and he didn't do it in the first inning. And I'm supposed to have the Maris brothers come on and give us their view. So Steve. You guys keep on, and I'm going to get Kevin and Roger Maris Jr. on.
Wow. Okay, well, before we do that, Kieran Sheehan was one of the Phantoms and Phantom of the Operas. And we just all learned that Phantom is coming up Broadway after 34 years. Can you believe that? What a run. So on February 18th, 2023, it'll be the last performance in New York City. And we couldn't think of a better person to bring on than Kieran Sheehan, who is one of the Phantoms. He's great friends with Ray Negron, and because of that, he was in Bat Boy in our very first show. Fantastic. Kieran, are you there, sir?
I am. How are you?
Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Robbie.
That's Robbie Robinson.
Yes.
Kieran, number one, how are you, my brother?
I'm good. I'm good. It's been a crazy couple of years with the pandemic, but I've seen you through it because we went to the hospitals a few times together.
All I know is that Kieran Sheehan was our first Bobby Mercer in Bat Boy.
Oh, nice!
And he blew it out of the house. Even though we broke so many rules, he was phenomenal. And you know what? On Broadway, I don't care. Maybe I'm prejudiced, but he was the best Phantom of the Opera, okay? And I'm so lucky because I got to see him on Broadway. So I saw him on Broadway before I even knew him. So that's how good I feel about it. It's almost like going to see a Frankie Valli show and see Robbie Robinson bouncing.
Well, Sarah, now, first of all, give me the pronunciation because I don't want to mess this up, and I apologize.
Not at all, Robbie. If you listen to my mother and to Frank McCourt, and they're both gone now, it's Kieran.
Kieran.
Uh-huh.
Great. How's that then? Well,
But when I'm in Starbucks, it's Joe.
I love it. Hey, so Kieran,
Yeah.
take the audience and myself.
Yeah.
What is it like to put on that mask and to perform that iconic role?
As soon as you asked that question, I thought, this is sort of funny. It actually took longer to put the makeup on than the length of time that I was actually on stage. So the role is you're only on stage for about 23 minutes, I think, 25 minutes. But I think because there's constant talk about the character, you feel like he's always present, you know. And so the makeup took 45 minutes and the performance took about 25.
But 34 years. Talk about it coming to a close.
Yeah, it's sort of an odd thing because I guess the day before or 2 days, I was just down South Carolina doing some concerts, and I got down there just before the announcement, and I remember thinking to myself, that bloody thing is never going to close. So much for my psychic abilities. So.
Well, nothing. What's been the second closest to Phantom? In terms of
Cats. I think it's Cats because there was an anniversary show, or there was a performance of Phantom that I was part of, and a lot of people who played the Phantom, or Christine and Raul, were part of, where it passed it in length, and they actually had a bunch of cats come up and gather around in the middle of the stage, and then when they parted ways, the Phantom was left standing there. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So.
Hey, what's it now? Tell me about the organ playing. Me being an organ player, what's the organ playing like there?
Yeah, that's not me. But I will say, Robbie, that when I played the Phantom, and I was at the organ, trying to fake my way to look like I was sort of knew what I was doing, and I'm writing music on the manuscript. I made him a lefty. I don't know if you're a lefty or anything.
No, I'm a righty. But now Lon Chaney, I think, played the role of the Phantom of the Opera,
Yep.
not the musical, of course, in the earliest incarnation of that, I think.
Yeah, and in fact, that black and white film, they painted when the Red Death scene. In a musical, it's the masquerade scene. It's top of the second act. They actually painted that moment in the film. They painted the red in. Otherwise, I think the rest of it was black and white.
Well, for our listeners and viewers out there, we have a little clip of you singing. So let's check them out. Kieran Sheehan.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
I love it. Bravo.
Don't show that clip to my wife because she likes the beard. And I just got rid of it.
Oh,
sound awesome.
Thanks, brother.
So, Kira, when you got the gig for the Phantom, how'd that come about?
Well, it's kind of a miraculous story. I was, to make it a long story short, I ran into an Irish actor on the subway who was kind of lost at Union Square Station. He was trying to get to Grand Central Station. So I helped him out. He introduced me to the Irish Rep, which is on West 22nd Street in New York, and told me to go meet with the artistic director and the producer there. And it just so happened that Hal Prince had just brought them a play called Grandchild of Kings. And they asked me if I could do a Dublin accent. And I said, yeah, I'm from Dublin, so no bother. And next thing I know, I'm in this off-Broadway play with Hal. And he said to me, do you sing? And I said, yeah, if you want Led Zeppelin, because I'd sung in a metal band in college and in high school. And hadn't sung in 10 years. I was just doing straight acting. And I said, yeah, a little bit. Yeah. So next thing I know, they're turning this play into sort of a musical. They keep adding songs to it. And they're like, here, Kieran, sing that. So then Hal said to me one day, he said, have you seen Phantom? And I said to him, nah, I don't like musicals. And pardon my French, but he said, get your ass up to the Majestic because you have a new baby. And you could do with a good job. So I went to see the show, and I called him that night at home, and I said, I got to play that guy. That guy's a mess. So because I thought I just looked at it as a great acting role. So he sent me to his daughter's voice teacher for voice lessons. And they weren't sure whether they wanted to cast me or not because I'd never done a musical. So they threw me into Les Mis, and that was about a few months after I'd met Hal, and that worked out fine. And then next thing I know, I'm playing Raoul. I did that for 1,000 performances, and then they moved me up to playing the Phantom. So it's just, and I was an engineering major in college. I had no desire to do any of this. So you never know where God's bringing you.
You never, boy, amen to that. And I've seen that over and over in the music business and the entertainment business in general. But take us from, you're playing in metal bands in college, you're singing in metal bands in college,
to
Broadway.
Yeah.
What goes on in between? How do you get from point A to B? And you said you're not a singer. Obviously, you can sing. You sound amazing there.
Thank you, brother. Well, as I said, I was an engineering major in college, and I dropped out because there were no girls, and at that time, anyway. And I thought, where am I going to be?
By the way, where was that?
Rutgers University.
Oh, yes.
So I was an electrical engineering major there, and I decided I'd take an acting class because I thought, where can you meet pretty girls? I'm going to take an acting class in New York. And then I fell in love with acting, and I stopped singing completely. I mean, it was just rock and roll stuff in the Jersey Shore and New York, L'Amours and
rock and roll stuff from the Jersey Shore. Now, come on now.
What's that?
Just rock and roll stuff.
Well, it was just cover tunes. It was just, Zeppelin and Priest and AC/DC, and it was so much
Frankie
fun.
Valli, did you ever cover any of that?
No, I mean that stuff. I mean, that's getting up in the stratosphere.
Well, let me interrupt this for a minute because I know we have somebody in the green room and waiting in the wings who has sung some Frankie Valli stuff, and he's got just a little bit of time left. And let's get him on here with both of you actors, both of you are musical guys, both of you Broadway guys. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Christopher Calais Jones, who played Frankie Valli in Jersey Boys.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Christopher, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you guys doing?
How you doing there, sir?
You guys know each other, Kieran and Christopher.
We do now.
Yeah. What brought us together? Yeah, I don't think our paths have crossed before now.
No, yeah. Wow. Nice to meet you. You went to Northwestern, I see.
I did, yeah. I went to Northwestern University.
Awesome. Great place to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
As opposed to me, who's the college dropout, so.
Nice. My wife as well. She's also in the business and went to college for like a year and a half and then got a national tour and never looked back.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and he does a fantastic Frankie Valli.
I heard.
Boys, and so much so that I have partnered with Christopher on a number of concerts when Frankie Valli wasn't available, and he came in and he did that. And we've got
Awesome.
I'm doing a homecoming concert in my hometown of Litchfield, Illinois on October 7th and 8th. And with a bunch of Frankie Valli alumni, guys from Frankie Valli's band and a bunch of other illustrious people. But Christopher Calais-Jones is coming in to be one of the stars.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's fun.
It's going to be a blast. Now, before we get any further, I did bring something to curry some favor with Stephen Ray. So I hope this.
Yeah.
And listen.
Sorry, Robbie.
Yeah, I don't mean to offend you, Robbie. And let me say, I know the first thing about baseball, so I'm not inviting conversation. But I do know the Dodgers got their start in New York, then went to LA, which is similar to me, and now I'm in Chicago. So if we just get the Dodgers to move over to Chicago and get rid of our two other teams, then I think they'll have.
So I'm taking it you're not a Sox or a Cubs fan.
Well, if I have to pick one, I live like a mile from Wrigley, so I'm a Cubs fan, and I also moved to Chicago literally the year series. So it was a pretty fantastic year in the city. That it was just dropped every night after.
So Christopher, how is it performing Frankie Valli music?
It's fantastic. I mean, it was the break of my life. You know, funny story for Kieran. One of my first auditions in New York after I got out of school at Northwestern was. I mean, I was young, but I was a high tenor, so they brought me in for Piangi in Phantom, and I cracked on the high C, and I lost my only chance. So you've gone much further than me in that particular arena. But no, my big break was doing Jersey Boys. I had worked with the director on another show out of town that was a pre-Broadway production of a show called Zhivago. And they brought me in to audition for the first national tour. I was the first guy to play the role after The Gentleman on Broadway did it and won the Tony. And I got to do it for a year and a half on the road, a little bit in Las Vegas. And it offered me a bunch of relationships that I have to this day, including Robbie Robinson.
Wow.
Nice. That's
How
awesome.
is it performing being Frankie Valli in front of Frankie Valli?
It's the worst. I mean, he came to the opening of the show when we did the show out in Los Angeles. It was a big kind of celebrity-studded.
You mean in LA when you were there?
Yeah, in LA. We opened in San Francisco, then we went to LA, and in LA, Frankie was there along with a bunch of others, and I definitely sang the same verse of Sherry twice in front of Frankie Valli because I completely blanked. I went into the White Room stage and felt so bad. He never mentioned it. I don't know if he caught it. He probably, went out for a smoke or something because he doesn't need to see me do his stuff. But he was always so generous and nice. He's been incredibly lovely to me. I mean, he invited me to his house when I was living in LA doing this show and talked to me about his music, which is something I'll always treasure.
That's awesome.
He talked to me about it, and he thinks you're one of the best of all the Frankies. And he's seen and heard so many guys being him, which is surreal in itself,
Totally.
Wow.
Right. And Christopher, you're doing Bobby Darin right now. We have a little promo clip that we're going to show our viewers and our listeners in Florida.
Sure thing.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me. There was a splishing and a splashing, reeling with a feeling, moving and a grooving, rocking and a rolling. You must have been a beautiful baby. You must have been a beautiful child. I love you, baby. And if it is quite all right, I need you, baby, to warm up those winter nights. 'Cause I want a girl to call my own. I want a dream lover, so I don't have to dream alone. Oh, that light bombs are the right, babe. Now that Maggie's back in town. Look out, old Mackie is back.
Wow.
That was awesome. That was and Christopher. I just want to take a second to say your voice is just is fabulous. But looking at it, you make it look so easy, and we both know it ain't easy. But the fact that you make it look easy, it makes it so much more easy for the audience to enjoy, and that's beautiful. Hats off to you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let me throw something in along those lines, Kieran, because I've been in this business longer than both you guys. And the thing that I see, most people who are in this business and who are on a certain level of success of the successful ladder are born for it. So it is easy because it's who you are, it's what you are. It takes a lot of work, don't get me wrong. But when you guys walk onto a stage, do you feel like that you're home?
Yeah.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, absolutely.
Yeah. I remember the last time I did Carnegie Hall. I came out and I got a nice welcome from the audience, and I felt at home, and it felt so good. But I said, "Hang on a second," and I left the stage. I went off stage right through the stage door, and then came back on just so I could get it again.
Yeah, it is. It's special, and I've been living on stages my whole life, and it does feel like the people who I know who are born for the stage, it's who you are, what you are, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else. I suspect you guys are. I suspect engineering was not in the future for Kieran.
No.
No. Ray, what do you think of Christopher and Kieran?
Number one, I'm the biggest Frankie Valli fan in the world, so I'm a fan of this young man, and I can't wait to see him as Bobby Darin. And when somebody like Kieran Sheehan, when he was supposed to be an engineer, it reminds me of Lou Gehrig, because Lou Gehrig was studying to be an engineer in Columbia University, but he was what he became, and Kieran is what he became, one of the great singers in the world.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Ray.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I love during the pandemic, Kieran, you kind of help people in hospitals. You alluded to it, but giving back to you is important, right?
You know what? It's honestly, I get more. I enjoy performing. I really do, and I enjoy acting. I enjoy doing straight plays, television, blah 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 blah. I think the most rewarding thing for me is doing things for others. That I'm in a place where I can do things for others, and if that gets them through a bit of their day, that makes me happy.
Hey, and let me add something, and Kieran will know what I'm talking about. I mean, I don't know how many times I've gone to a charity event, and who pops in? Who's there? Kieran Sheehan. Am I right, Kieran, or what?
Well, it's built our friendship, brother.
It's crazy because this man, he does have a heart of gold, and he's just a beautiful man. And I wish I was as good a guy as he is, and I mean that.
And by the way, back to Christopher just for a second. I know you're getting ready to go on stage tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm unfortunately going to have to say my goodbyes. I got working at.
Hey, can I get some tickets for the show tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Come on down to Arkansas. I'm sure that's the first place you want to go from New York.
Arkansas. Can you send me your Learjet, please?
Got it. I'll set that up.
Chris, what are you doing?
So I'm doing a brand new musical called "It Came from Outer Space." It's a spoof of the 1953 sci-fi movie.
Fun.
Movies to kind of introduce 3D effects. So these two wonderful writers who wrote another musical called Murder for Two that did very well wrote this tongue-in-cheek show. It's very, very fun.
You having a good time?
Oh yeah. I'm having a blast. And I did want to mention to your viewership and your listeners, if they wanted to hear more of that Bobby Darin stuff, I did record a live album of it, so it's streaming on all major platforms. It's literally called Darin Live at Mercury Theater Chicago, so people can check that out. And I recorded it live at the show, so you actually hear stories from my life and Bobby Darin's life as well. So it's a fun thing to listen to. And Robbie, I can't wait to be performing with you in just a couple weeks.
It's just a couple weeks, and we've got 2 nights on October 7th and 8th. And we are going to rock the house.
Absolutely.
That's right. And Christopher, keep that Yankee hat. Don't lose it.
No,
All right. I don't care what Robbie says.
I've actually had it for a long time. It's even though I'm not a sports nut, it reminds me of my time in New York, which is where I got my career. I still identify as a New Yorker, so I like wearing it because it reminds me of my roots.
Christopher, thank you so very much. God bless, sir.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christopher.
Thank you.
Break a leg tonight.
Kieran, when you hear another performer like that give back his heart and soul, it must be really connecting for you.
It's lovely to, particularly after the last 2.5 years, just to see someone getting to do what they love to do in front of an audience and enjoying themselves and bringing something special. He's obviously, very gifted, and it's a great instrument. And his ability to sing in different genres, I'd say, is terrific, and it I guess because it's his passion, it flows so beautifully, so.
It's I found it fascinating too with Frankie when Jersey Boys came out. The first concept was there was only going to be one Frankie per cast. Well, they realized that nobody could sing 8 shows a week singing Frankie Valli songs, So they ended up with 2 Frankies on every cast. And then as the companies grew to there were 8. At one time, there were 8 companies around the world, and so they opened up a Frankie Valli school where they taught singers how to sing like Frankie. So there was a whole bunch of Frankies out there.
That's cool. It's the same thing, Robbie, in Phantom.
That's cool, right?
Christine's.
Yeah, because you almost have to do that because for the audience, I don't know if the audience realizes that there are typically 8 shows a week on Broadway.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of shows to do for a singer,
Yeah, for the Phantom, it's as I said, it's not too bad, 25 minutes on the stage. But the poor Christine, she's out there for a good 2 hours.
Right.
With the Jersey Boys, I sat next to Frankie when he watched the first performance when it was still in preview, and his first time to see his life up on the stage.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a surreal thing anyhow, because it's rare that a living person would have a play or even a movie about their life that they sit here and watch,
How did he take it?
He got the whole range of emotions, from tears to laughter to enjoyment, but he said it was surreal was the word that he used. And the original incarnation of the show before it hit Broadway, it had some even more graphic scenes about some of the real tragedies in his life. And so it was a little heavy. I'm not going to give away the plot, although most people probably have seen it.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, Kieran, we want to thank you so very much for joining us here on the show. I know we have about 10 minutes left. Can you mention Led Zeppelin? Can you Stairway to Heaven for us?
You know what? I got remarried. Ray knows this. I got married a little over two years ago, and we finally had a bit of a reception last fall down near my family, down near Princeton. A friend of mine had a barn, and so I got my old metal guys back together.
Oh, cool!
And I talked my wife, who hadn't played the flute since high school, into playing the flute section of Stairway to Heaven.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
Wow.
Hey, Robbie, you'll appreciate this. And I hope some of your audience will. So, I'm getting a little older. So I took it down a half step, And so we took it from C to suddenly there's, 5 sharps,
BS 5 sharps. Yeah.
Right. So she's banging through it. And I said to her, because she hadn't played since high school, and I transcribed it, wrote it out for her. And there was one note she was hitting. She was hitting it a little hard. And I said, honey, that's a little sharp. And she turned to me and she said, it's supposed to be sharp. There's a sharp market beside it.
I love it. That's so cool.
Thanks, guys.
Wow. Yeah. Kieran, thank you so much. God bless, sir.
Ray, good to see you, brother.
Thank you, man. I'll
love
talk
you.
to you soon. Definitely.
Okay,
love you too.
Thank you.
Take care.
The Phantom of the Opera. Unbelievable. And
So the
Christopher
Phantom
Jones.
meets Frankie. How cool is that?
Yeah. You couldn't plan that any.
That's pretty cool to have two Broadway stars on our show at the same time.
Let me just say that Aaron Judge is now 0 for 2. He just struck out, so he ain't done it yet.
Well, he's about, if he doesn't hit 2 home runs in the next, how many more games? 13, 15?
We have 13 more to go after today.
Okay.
But 5 more home games, in a row here. So hopefully he'll do it before they go back on the road.
Well, bottom line is I'm glad what he's doing for baseball is good for the game, and I hope that the game appreciates what he is doing.
I think they do. I mean, all the punditry that I've seen out there are just lifting him up. And on top of it, like you said earlier, he's got a shot at the Triple Crown. What if he wins a Triple Crown and he breaks the home run record and he's going to be a free agent? Man,
he's not coming to the Dodgers, Robbie.
Wow.
I just want to enjoy this because you know what? I was too young to really appreciate Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle in '61. So at least I get an idea what it really was like.
But Roger did, as Steve mentioned earlier, Roger Maris went through all kinds of turmoil because everybody was against him breaking Babe Ruth's historic record. And so he lost hair and he went through all kinds of emotional turmoil. And I don't think his career was ever the same after that. He was still a great player, don't get me wrong, but never to that level.
No, Hank Aaron went through the same thing, but also racial divides as well.
Right, no question.
I mean, you mentioned Gio Urshela, Ray, and all the great work he did. I actually was in Minnesota.
Let me just say that Oswaldo Cabrera hit a grand slam in this game a few minutes ago.
Wow.
For the children of CS 55. So I'm very proud.
Awesome.
Well, Gio Urshela did great work for New York, CS 55, but we gave him an award in Minnesota when I was there 2 weeks ago. Check out what the Twins did on the field at Target Field.
Special presentation. Chapters Community Support Services is so connected. Are pleased for the second annual Unity in the Community Humanitarian Leadership Award this evening at Target Field. To a Twin player who's gone above and beyond, and not only our community, but also the community we last played. Since being traded for the New York Yankees and the Twins in March, this player has maintained community connections with the New York City public school system while forging new ones with the Boys and Girls Club of the Twin Cities Pine Tar Academy. He also foster care and family services and other groups in and around Minnesota. So fans, I need you to get on your feet and please give a warm welcome and an applause for the 2022 recipient of the Unity in the Community Humanitarian Leadership Award, Gio. Congratulations, Gio, and thank you for your contribution to this territory and beyond.
It was an amazing night.
That's fantastic. Gio is the real deal. I'll tell you what a great guy.
Yeah.
He gave out 100 free Minnesota Twin tickets for kids in the Boys and Girls Club of the Twin Cities and also kids in the foster care system. It was an honor to be on the field with them.
That's
Steve, you got to get credit too for that, okay? Because you inspired it.
That's right.
You made it happen. And again, like I said, I'm proud of you for doing that because you said you wanted to do it and you did it.
Well, I mean, it's all about giving back. I hear the stories that we talk about week after week. It inspires us all to do that one nice thing each and every day to help our neighbor. And that's what it's all about.
Hey, you know what? I was listening to the Dodger game a couple days ago, and there was a rain delay. David Cohn in ESPN, was the game of the ESPN game, and they were talking about our buddy Squeegee.
Oh, sweet.
During the Dodger game, yeah. And they shout out, they said, and the other announcers were talking to David Cohn. He said, he said, they asked him what he did during a rain delay, and he said, I go play catch with Squeegee. And I said, hey, they go, Squeegee? They said, yeah. So he told them about Squeegee.
Nice. I love that. I love that. Bad Boy.
Another edition of the show. And Bad Boy's coming back November 29th. So we're looking to do that. And Ray, keep bringing this world together. I mean, you're doing great, great work, not just at Yankee Stadium.
WTAN, Clearwater FM.
That was exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting. We just got cut off from Florida, but we're just about out of time. So we want to thank everybody for listening and watching. And until next week.
Yeah, and tomorrow night with Frankie Valli, we're playing Indianapolis. Friday night, Grand Rapids. Saturday night, Detroit. Come out and see us.
We'll be there.
All right.
We'll be there. I'm jumping on Steve's jet.
Yeah.
There we go. Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
All right.
Make sure you pay that room service bill, Robbie.
Yeah, I'm going with Charlie Santoro. 2 tickets.
There you go.
There we go. Reach out. Come on back next week.
All right.